What's up, Twisted Hickory Juice? How you doing? Getting everything set up here. All right. Let's give people a few seconds to get in here. How's my sound sounding? What's up, Trinity? Y'all let me know how I'm sounding out there. All right. Hey, thanks for that feedback, Twisted. Yeah. So we're gonna wait for a few more people to get in here. I'm glad y'all could join me this morning. Um, this gonna be a loose Sunday. Sitting back, relaxing. I thought I'd go live and touch on some of the things went past since the last time we went live. The Revolt Summit. We're gonna touch on that and the aftermath. We're gonna touch on leading off probably with the 6ix9ine situation, but not too heavily. Just some of the pushback I got from appearing on the Star Report with Star. If y'all not subscribed to his channel, please go subscribe and check him out. He's always has me on as a guest host. So y'all do that. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Hit the like button, folks. Um, and let's give it a couple more minutes, and then we'll get straight. We'll get started here. Let me send the tweets out and stuff. Everybody know we're going live. So, let's see. All right, we got 10. So let's rock. Let's rock. All right. So if you've been living under a rock, you seen you might haven't heard that 6ix9ine rapper 6ix9ine has taken a stand and what's up, thoughts men? Thoughts men aren't supposed to think. Hey, y'all go check out this brother. You know what I'm saying? He got a dope channel. And y'all also check him out on Instagram. He always showing me love. I like that last video you did with the little girl hair. Um, that was dope content. Shit, y'all go check him out. Subscribe to his channel as well. All right, so let's before I start, let's just make sure. I like to say all my hellos, good mornings to everybody. Good morning, Gary. How you doing this morning? Just so you know, really, I wanted to do this live because I haven't got the chance to touch base with y'all in a while, and I like the feedback going back and forth for you guys and ladies. So just to see where everybody is at. What's good? What's good, Caleb? Also, can y'all type in where y'all currently located at, just so I can see how far the channel is reaching out. I think I'm at a little over 1,200 subscribers right now. I never thought I would get to that level. I mean, I knew it was possible, but it's just amazing that I did do that, and it's all because of you guys. Man, I really appreciate all the love. Good morning, B Simmons. Um, so I just appreciate all the love. I appreciate all the comments. Um, just keep sharing the channel, liking the channel. Put your friends on. All right, Trinity, they're from Florida. We got Philly in the house. B Simmons, Arizona. Okay, Durham, North Carolina, got to be in the house. Okay, Los Angeles. Oh, so it's kind of early out there for you, Gary, but I appreciate you joining. Andrea, how you doing, Andrea? Good morning. Oh, in Detroit. Oh, okay. All right. From the D. Hey, lovely. It's from NY. So we got them all over. I appreciate that. So let's go ahead and get started. It's 10:10. So we did the meet and greets, and this is gonna be a very interactive video. I know the last time I was more content focused on doing the narrative, but you know, oh, we got London in the house. How you doing, Alan? Oh yeah, Savannah GA. Oh, this is where you from? Hey, thoughts. We got to chop it up too. We got to do something together in the near future. But like I said, starting out this video, I want to address some of the feedback comments I got on the 69 story slash snitching slash organized crime. When I was featured on the Star Report, I think it was on Thursday night. Y'all, like I said before, if you're not subscribed or haven't checked out Star Report with Star, y'all go check him out. You know what I'm saying? Show him some love because he gave me my start in this. Oh, we got Oxford, UK in the house. How you doing, Salon? So I got a lot of pushback on that. So here's the thing. First of all, when I said 6ix9ine wasn't a criminal, I'm talking about a hardened criminal and the mindset of being a member of organized crime. So we're going to take a look at who Mr. 69 is and who brought him to us. So I don't know if you guys are familiar. Ken Wu said 313. How you doing? All right, so let's say Caleb said I knew he would tell. He's not a street dude. Exactly. He's not a street dude. I don't know why they let him in the organization. And this is a common problem not only with criminal elements, but organizations targeted towards black people, period. They're so easily infiltrated because we're so willing to work with people that have not been properly vetted. And we're gonna get that's all. This is gonna tie in together in this live stream, but we have to really look and see who's behind 6ix9ine. And if you're not aware, 6ix9ine was backed by. Let's see here. He was open these links up. He was backed by Elliot Grange. And if you're not familiar who Elliot Grange is, he's the man that's behind 10,000 Entertainment. And he's responsible for bringing 6ix9ine and also Trippie Redd. And for those that's not in the know, Elliot is the son of Lucian Grange, who is the CEO of Universal Music Group. What a coincidence. So you have to really understand what you're seeing here. Let me drag this over right quick. Just to show you who I'm talking about. Not that one. So we can see. This is Mr. Elliot Grange right here. This is the guy responsible for bringing you 6ix9ine. This is all of them together. There's Elliot in the back. That's Trippie Redd. And this is his father, Lucian Grange, who is the CEO of Universal Music Group. So these people are brought to you, by very powerful people in the music industry. They act like, they want to act like, the street gang blew up 6ix9ine, which it didn't. They had plans for this young man way before he even, got connected with Treyway. So here's an article in TMZ where he was going to meet Mr. Elliot Grange, and a shootout happened. I don't know if you guys remember this or not. So let's just go here. It said the shootout that left a hole in the stomach of a Tekashi 6ix9ine crew member was triggered by threats of gun violence and death, threats coming from the rapper's own muscle. So he was going to meet Mr. Elliot Grange, son of Lucian Grange, head of the CEO of the Universal Music Group. We can see here, we were told Tekashi was meeting record exec Elliot Grange for dinner. Elliot was waiting on Tekashi at the restaurant with 2 bodyguards, retired New York detectives. So, if the New York Police Department was good enough to provide protection for Mr. Elliot Grange, then why didn't he have the same protection for his artist 6ix9ine? Well, we know why. He needed 6ix9ine to get affiliated with street organizations, gangs, to give him credibility. But see, it turned out bad for him. And when I say him, I'm talking about Mr. Elliot Grange. We're not going to harp on this too long, but I just want to give you guys a little background. So what ended up happening was guns were drawn between Mr. Grange's security and 6ix9ine security. And one of 6ix9ine's people were shot in the stomach. So they just show you a little background. Let's see. Yes, hold on, let's go back to the comments. Yes, that's Rahm Emanuel's brother. Exactly. So we see these people have very high ties. Rahm Emanuel, and if you don't know about let's go back. If you don't know about Ari Emanuel is Rahm Emanuel's brother, and he's also co-CEO of William Morrison's ad agency. And that's one of the most powerful agencies in Hollywood. So, and as who pointed that out, I gotta give him props. Brother Mrs. David said that's Rahm Emanuel's brother, who is the current mayor of Chicago, and also Obama's right hand man when he was in Washington. Yep. So, as you can see here, Elliot Grange, 10K Projects create music group, invest in homemade projects, launch new record label, targeting Gen Z. So I wanted to bring this up just for one thing. Where are we at? It was one little tidbit in here. See, folks, I do a lot of research. I do a lot of reading of articles because there's always one nugget in every article. So it says here, despite its quaint name, digital marketing firm Homemade Project is a musical juggernaut. The firm has worked online campaigns for musicians like Travis Scott, 6ix9ine, G-Eazy, and Metro Boomin. Collectively, its roster tipped 1 billion streams. So these are the people that got 6ix9ine in front of us. Yep, I'm playing. Shampoo said, yeah, Obama's advisor. Yes, Rahm Emanuel was Obama's advisor. So, and I'm gonna go back and try to speak to everybody, but I just want to lay this out. So, there's nothing Treyway could do to put 6ix9ine in front of us. They just gave him the credibility that he needed, But when you saw him trending on social media, when you saw him trending on, on all kind of platforms, it was these folks here. These folks, the son of Universal Music Group, the CEO of Universal Music Group. It was a ad agency of William and Morris. that was putting this guy in front of us. But at the end of the day, they walk away with the money, and 6ix9ine walks away with, you know what I'm saying, having to tell on and bring people down. And like I said before, this guy 6ix9ine, he is. Let's not get it twisted. You could be a degenerate and a pervert allegedly, and not be a hardened criminal. And what I mean by that is, when I say criminal, I'm talking about let me say not say a career criminal. A career criminal is somebody that sets out and their occupation is going to be committing crimes, and that's not what this dude was. Okay, I'm just playing. Saying I'm just playing. Shampoo says Gen Z means how to make you gay or LGBT. That that's part of the agenda. Uh, so we have to look at the people. I always want to look back. But now, with that said, I brought up another point of saying, if our community is gonna have organized crime, we need to do it in a better way. Organized crime, for the most part, and you always can find exceptions for anything, but for the most part, protects its own community. And people will say, well, Mo, they extort people in their own community. Yes, if you get in business with them, then you will have to deal with them. If you borrow money from this organized crime or syndicates, then you will have to deal with them. But for the most part, they like to keep peace in the neighborhood, not out of some sheer will of harmony and peace, but peace means no police around. No police around means they can do their business as seeing fit. And then they also don't let people come from the outside in to their communities and harass the citizens of the community. So, of course, I don't want to see our people committing crimes, but crime is a part of every culture, of every segment of society, all the way from Wall Street to Main Street. So I'm just saying we need to do it in a orderly fashion if that's what we choose to do, and not have young dead bodies laying on the street from stray bullets. Not have old women and women and children and old people, elderly people, not fearing to come out of their houses. We have to do better. So let me go back to the comments, then we're going to get into some clips here. Let's see. This is also younger. Yeah, Shampoo, as you said, yeah, his accusations and cooperation is going to be widespread. Uh, you're gonna see people being taken down all across. Paul Lovato said Gen Z are young and impressionable. Yes, they're young and impressionable because of the power of manipulation through mass media, and that's one of the things I do here. That's the main thing I do here, trying to diffuse and make mass media not effective or less effective on the people. If once they can realize what's happening. Uh, TKG speaks. I mean, excuse me. TKJ speaks says yes. Order and protection. Yes, we need protection. We need order. Thoughts. Yep. Yeah. Don't make the block hot. That we saw that in Baltimore. Remember when the riots in Baltimore? They were saying the Bloods and Crips are coming together, to calm things down. Yeah, because they wouldn't be able to do no business. That's what that was about. If you got cops walking up and down your block, you can't do business. So I mean, I'm not saying these are going to be good, like Red Cross and they're criminals too, but they're not going to be doing virtuous things, But order and peace we do need in our communities, where kids can go outside and play and not have to be struck down by stray bullets. That's totally unacceptable. All right, so just to go to show you, so as you always know, I will always like to put context. America was built off of organized crime, and if you don't believe me, we have Mr. James Bradley, who was a New York bestseller, a New York Times bestseller author, and he speaks on Roosevelt. That's Theodore Roosevelt and the Opium Empire. So let's listen to this clip.
I'm out in China, and I find that the grandfather of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, his name was Warren Delano, was the opium king of China. The fortune that Franklin Delano Roosevelt lived off of, custom-made suits, nice houses, sailboats, vacations, summer homes, he didn't make that money. He inherited from Grandpa Warren Delano, the opium king of China. Cabot House at Harvard, opium. Skull and Bones at Yale, opium. The Low Library at Columbia, opium money. If you go on the Princeton website, at least they're honest, they will admit that their first biggest benefactor, John Green, was an opium dealer with Warren Delano. So the book is full of surprises. I'll let you judge. It didn't change my view about America so much. What it did is change my view about American historians.
So we see here, he said a lot, but Franklin Roosevelt was funded. His whole lifestyle was funded by the opium trade. Um, as this man says, let's just go back. Let's look at some of the things he said. Summer homes. Let's see, his grandpa, it says right there. He inherited from his grandpa, Warren Delano, was the opium king of China. Harvard University, Skull and Bones, Princeton, all these things were funded by organized crime. Let's not get into it. Let's. The clip is short. Let's go. He said so much in that 1 minute. Let's just run that back one more time, so for everybody that didn't catch what he said.
I'm out in China, and I find that the grandfather of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, his name was Warren Delano, was the opium king of China. The fortune that Franklin Delano Roosevelt lived off of, custom-made suits, nice houses, sailboats, vacations, summer homes, he didn't make that money.
This is what I'm talking about. Organized crime in other communities, what they try to do is their next generation, they try to distance themselves from the life of crime. They don't want to bring their children into the life of crime. They use it as a platform and funding so they can build something bigger and better, and make their lineage legit. And we're gonna see that. Let us finish playing this clip, and we're gonna get into some more information.
He inherited from Grandpa Warren Delano, the opium king of China. Cabot House at Harvard, opium. Skull and Bones at Yale, opium. The Low Library at Columbia, opium money. If you go on the Princeton website, at least they're honest, they will admit that their first biggest benefactor, John Green, was an opium dealer with Warren Delano.
So he even said, Princeton said on their website, they know where the money came from, well, the who it came from, and it's quite clear. But even as this gentleman said here, Mr. James Bradley, historians, when they say when it's write history, they go back and rewrite history. But this man has courage enough to really expose how these historical American families really made their money. So let's finish this clip out, and then we get to the next one.
So the book is full of surprises. I'll let you judge. It didn't change my view about America so much. What it did is change my view about American historians.
Okay, so let's go back to the comments. Yep, the opium trade is alive and well. Yes, it's called the pharmaceutical industry. That's what it's called. They just made it legit. They're selling legal dope, and now they got their own people strung out. We see that now. Let's see, make sure I miss nothing. Okay, Thought said the criminal element is key part to most communities. They do put back into it. That's humanity's way. Yep. Yeah, I gotta have sources, man. It's Thoughts. I gotta have sources, bro. I didn't know that, Mr. David. I had to look into that. He said FDR mother was of color. I had to check into that. Shampoo said the negative they start foundations. Yeah, and that's the thing. They clean their money up. But what we see in our criminal organizations, they want the next generation to be part of that criminal enterprise. We're putting bandanas and guns into the kids' hands. That's crazy. That makes no sense. If you're gonna do anything, do it all in order. Okay. Let's see. Shampoo said, "What's up, Mike? You heard? How you doing, bro?" JK, yep, their family was on bootleggers. Yep. We know about the Bushes. We can keep going. The Clintons, Mena, Arkansas. Like I said, the Bushes was running dope through the CIA, through Compton. That's another little known fact. Y'all go look it up for yourself. I'm not gonna look this up, but George H.W. Bush actually lived in Compton at one time when it was a white neighborhood. Go look that up. I'm not making this up. Paul Lovato said historians not publicizing the truth like they do for other agendas. Yeah, that's the thing. Once you make money, you buy the newspapers, you buy the news stations, and then you rewrite history. This show Snowfall that everybody loves is a rewriting of history. The movie American Gangster is a rewriting of history. Like they had Frank Lucas bringing all these drugs in on American planes. Get the hell out of here. No, it don't work like that. But what they do is they create this entertainment to rewrite history. But let's keep it moving. All right, so y'all, we're gonna come back. We're gonna come up some. So that was y'all thinking. Well, Roosevelt, that was back in the day. Blah blah blah. Right now, the mayor. Excuse me. Is it the governor? I think the governor of New York. Let me look that. Make sure. Como. I think it's Governor Como. Andrew Cuomo. Well, his son, Chris Cuomo, if you guys don't remember, was got into a rant and over being called Fredo from Godfather. Then let's look at the background here.
CNN anchor Chris Cuomo got into a verbal altercation with a man reportedly threatening to throw him down the stairs. The man apparently called Cuomo by the name Fredo, referring to the fictional character from the Godfather films, which led to this confrontation.
I thought that's who you were.
No, punk from the right called me Fredo. My name is Chris Cuomo. I'm an anchor on CNN.
You're much...
Fredo is from the Godfather. He was that weak brother.
Isn't that your
And
brother?
they use it as an Italian aspersion. Any of you Italian? Are you Italian?
I got a little
it's an insult to your people. It's an insult to your people. It's like the N-word for us.
Well, in response to the video, a CNN spokesperson said, quote, Chris Cuomo defended himself when he was verbally attacked with the use of an ethnic slur in an orchestrated setup we completely support.
So the reason why this really hit home with Chris Cuomo is because his father's father,
CNN anchor Chris Cuomo got
his
into
father's
a verbal...
father is a Mario Cuomo. And when he was running for office, they said he was part of the mob. Let's listen to some of the hold on, let me go back to the comments first before we get to the next video. Shampoo said, I'm a hater. Frank Lucas did it all. Right, yeah, right. He did it all by himself, single-handed with some cousins from North Carolina. Come on. We know better than that. But Mario Como. Let's see here. We have to do a little digging. Before we go on to the next video. So this is Mario Como. Excuse me. This is Andrew Como, and this is brother, Chris Como. Excuse me, I said his father. Excuse me, his brother. And their father is Mario. So Mario is the father of Chris and Andrew. So when you go back and let's listen to Mario. Mario was accused of being part of the mafia and the mob when he was running for office back in 1986. Let's listen to the clip.
Governor, I'm going to get back to that debate question in response to my partner's opening question. But you said something I just want to pin down. You said that when some people run, they are accused of mob connections. What do you mean by some people?
Well, all I can tell you is about my own experience, that in this campaign, it started with references to the fact that I come from Queens County and that there's corruption in Queens County. More recently, one of my Republican opponents said that Cuomo made his bones with the Democratic Organization of Queens County. Made his bones, if you look at the dictionary of slang, is an expression used by so-called mafia people to indicate that you have been accepted as one of the elite in the mafia by having committed a murder or another felony on their behalf. Now, this was made by Mr. O'Rourke's running mate, who happens to be a prosecutor. Now, I don't know what that suggests to you. What it suggests to me is an attempt to create a kind of image of association with organized criminals. I have found, and I'm not complaining of it because so far I've done rather well despite it, I've found that that's a kind of predictable attack by Republicans where I'm concerned. Now, no one ever suggests that we have been anything but way above board and totally honest, etc. But especially in tough campaigns, there is this tendency to refer to these stereotypes. So you and I have talked about it before, Bob. Now, that's the record and that's the fact. You'll have to draw your own conclusions.
You're implying
I'm not excuse me. No, Bob, I'm not implying anything. We've been through this.
All right, so that's enough from that clip. So what I'm saying here is we can see even in today's office, allegedly people affiliated with organized crime are benefiting their lineage by cleaning up their image. So this same thing can happen in our communities, but what we want to do is bombard the next generation with this criminal mentality. It's not a movement forward. And that's what I was saying. You know, I'm against crime, but how'd I say it? I'm against crime, but not necessarily organized crime. Organized crime is going to happen. Let's be clear. Crime is going to happen. But if it's a reality, we should expect it to be done in an organized manner. That way, ordinary, average day citizens can walk up and down the block and know that their kids are not going to be sold drugs. As we saw in The Godfather, what they say, take it down to the nigger community. That's what they said in The Godfather, and that was a true sentiment. Long as crime, doesn't happen in our communities, it's not our problem. So let's go back to the comments. Okay, he said not FDR. Okay, I got you, brother, Minister David. Okay, but yeah, that's the thing here. So we seen here. So he's deny that his family was part of the mob. But as it says in this article from the intelligencer, let's see. Said last month when Mario Cuomo was in Anaheim, California to address the National Association of Broadcasters, he was approached in the hotel lobby by a smiling and enthusiastic woman. As governor listened in shock, the woman urged him to run for president, even though she explained she heard that a member of his family was involved, quote unquote, with the mob. That's them, not you, Cuomo recalled the woman saying. So this Andrew couldn't even run for office for president because he was scared about his past. It says one of the things Cuomo did was complain to New York Times 22 days after Anaheim, the day after CBS correspondent Leslie Stahl asked him about rumors of skeletons in his family closet. It says the Times printed an article about the phone call Cuomo belatedly claimed he had been speaking off the record. So he even acknowledged it, but then he walked it back. So one last piece of information on this situation is this, and then we're going to move on. At the same time this was going on, this happened. Como relative gunned down. This is in Sicily. Two young gunmen burst into a sporting goods shop and killed a wealthy businessman related to New York Governor Mario Cuomo's wife, Matilda, police says. It says the Italian news agency ANSA described the attack on Ghetto as a mafia-style execution, but did not elaborate on that description. So we see people like this. Crime is in every community, but what we have to do is we have to be about having aspirations, higher aspirations, than just owning the block or being the man on the block or controlling the block. We shouldn't push this poison down to the kids. So that's all I had to say about this subject. But I just want to let people know where I stand on crime, organized crime, snitching, that thing, just to clarify. I didn't want to go too further in this, but let's go back to the comments. Shampoo said, that's the American dream. The robber barons, Carnegies, Rockefellers, they build off people's backs and carelessly. And then they start foundation and change the image. Right. It's called evolution. America was built off of this. Shampoo said it's a mob battle. It's a mob battle and Como is coming to bat it down. Right. All right, so that's enough on the whole 6ix9ine. I spent more time than I wanted to on that one. All right, so now, any other questions, let me know on that subject. But I just want to clarify where I stood on that. Well, speaking of alleged criminals, we had the okay, Shampoo said Moe Treyway may be pushing poison, but they act like they are dumb brutes. People are trying to survive and have no jobs. Well, here's the thing. What they should do is take that money that they're making and create opportunities in their own neighborhood, not take from their neighborhood. My problem is that they prey on their own kind. They make it unsafe for people of their own kind in their neighborhood. That's the issue I have with street gangs in our communities. there should be nowhere safer than our communities because they should be the people protecting us, not causing us harm. And that's a great segue into the Revolt Summit with with Killer Mike, Candace Owens, and Mr. T.I. Now, we've all heard the clips and everything like that. What I want to do is get into the coverage of it and the aftermath. So we're going to listen to this clip. This clip is Ebro and Rosenberg speaking on the T.I. Candace Owens situation. I just want you to hear the conversation that they're having.
From New York and on the new Hot 97 app, Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
So the Revolt Summit went down over the weekend, and I feel like there was a healthy dialogue. They invited Candace Owens in the room, who, you know, she's been working to get into the rooms and have these conversations with black audiences that she normally has with her white supremacist MAGA maniac audiences. And she wants to get in there and debate.
So how can you say it was a healthy conversation when you accuse somebody that pandering to white supremacists, blah, blah, blah? That's the thing. The media should be unbiased, and then they should let the two sides have a debate. But the problem is people like Ebro and this other cat, Rosenberg, are so friggin' emotional and unrational. I want you to hear this conversation that they have, and it's just, it left me, you know what I'm saying, in awe.
And, you know, she was one of the people who often, alongside, and she got the ear of Kanye West, propagated the idea that, you know, black people are only Democrats, which we've said on this show from the beginning. That's some bullish. There's plenty of black conservatives.
So how are there plenty of black conservatives out here when it's almost 9 out of 10 people that vote, make it clear, 9 out of 10 people that vote, black people that vote democratically. And if you are conservative, let me make myself clear, I'm neither conservative nor liberal. I don't affiliate with any party. So let me make that clear. But how can you make it say, you know what I'm saying, there are conservatives out, black conservatives out here when they have to live in fear of being shamed? I think we need to have open, healthy dialogue, which we saw couldn't happen at this summit, at the Revolt Summit, because people don't want to hear facts. They want to play off their emotions. If we had clear, open, healthy dialogue and allow people to hear each other out, we could let the facts stand there on their own merit. But as you're going to hear in this conversation, these people are hyper emotional.
Oh, yeah. There's black people in all now. Are more black people Democrats? Yes. And that's usually because the person repping for the GOP is on some bullish and is aligned with either some racist-ass white people and some white supremacy out there, or just some crazy ideas.
So let me get this straight. What is different? We saw the racist side of both parties. And see, this is the problem I have. You can't call one party racist and not look at things like No Man in the House and the 94 crime bill that was written by Joe Biden and signed into law by Bill Clinton that it's made mass incarceration explode. We can't look at things like just all the cities that are ran by Democrats that have high black populations that are terrible places to live. But he only wants to call out one side. That's the problem. I have no problem with you calling out the Republicans, but use that same lack of a better word, energy to call out the Democrats as well. But as we know, these people are talking heads for the Democratic Party, and we're going to hear that later on in this clip.
Don't benefit poor people or people of color at all.
So anyway, we played the audio about 15 minutes ago. I don't know if I could tolerate it again, but I guess it sets it up nicely. So play the T.I. clip right there, the third one. There you go.
Hold on, before we get in this clip, let me address some of the comments. HB2N said they make it hard for junkies to. I met a white hair ad that said he had to quit because the dealers are too violent. Yeah, shaking my head. Yep. Let's get into this topic. Let me scroll down. Yeah, they talking narrative, not facts, and they don't want to hear facts because if they hear facts, let me be clear where I stand on voting. Until there is a party that presents tangibles that benefit me and people like me, i.e. the black community, quote unquote the black community, you're not getting my vote. I'm not voting out of loyalty. I'm not voting out of fear. No. If you feel like you don't need to address me with your policies and you can only pander to me, don't expect me to show up for you and vote. So that's where I stand on the whole situation. So neither one of the parties is going to be receiving my vote come next November unless they put some things on the table that are beneficial. One of them being reparations, but reparations, let me be clear why I stand on reparations as well. Reparations, I am super pro reparations, but we had to use reparations as the pro-immigration people use amnesty or immigration. It's highly unlikely that you're going to get it done right away, but you use it as a leveraging tool to get other things you want done. So that's how I look at reparations. But let's go back to the comments. Trinity said, blacks and mass vote Democrat. Yes, and we do it and we don't receive anything, any promises. They don't even address us. They just expect us to show up, or in their words, they activate us. They don't motivate us. They activate us. And there's a big difference between those two words. Trinity says only 8% of blacks voted for Trump. That is correct. But what lost in the election was, I think it went down from, don't quote me on these numbers, I think from 66% to 57% turnout. I think the turnout was lower. Now, I know the turnout was lower. The numbers is somewhere in that ballpark that I quoted. Go back to listen to my podcast with Adam Curry. Y'all check my old podcast out, and we addressed this topic in detail. But going back to the summit here, Twisted said, "Ebro horrible. I don't even see how they still on the radio. The ratings are low as F, because the show is too emotional. Yes, but they're on the radio because they're talking heads early in the morning, and black people have a penchant for listening to the radio early in the morning because it's a free source of entertainment in our cars, or it's very accessible. So they pump these politically loaded narratives out to us early in the morning." Yeah, Gary Stewart said these guys are way too biased. Oh, you ain't heard bias yet. Wait till we finish this clip. Okay. Alan Ho said, I don't know how a grown man can be all in for one party. Yes, that's correct, Alan. What we should do is listen to both sides, what they have to offer, not be emotional about it. And if it's something on the table that's going to benefit us, then we spend our vote. See, I don't like that word, cast our vote. Voting is currency. Voting has power. But if your product that you're offering me doesn't benefit me, I'm not going to spend my vote. Shampoo says, being tunnel vision and not hearing all sides, right? That's very problematic. All right, Minister David says people who can't make decisions to change legislation, control schools, control music, or major decisions that change their lives, other people are prejudiced and not racist. Okay. I somewhat agree with that statement. Somewhat. It says black population is not large enough to vote anyone in. We can influence voting, but vote anyone in. Presidents are selected. Right. Presidents are selected in a way, But where our power is, if we vote in a block, brother Minister David, we do have power. So what we have to do is look at the two candidates, see what they have on the table to offer us, and if we vote in a block for whichever one has the best deal for us, then we do have power in that manner. And that's what the Democrats have been banking on all this time, because we have always voted for them in a block. But in recent history, the turnout has been low, and that has taken away the power of the black vote to benefit them to getting in office. All right, let's get back to the clips.
This is T.I. and Candace Owens.
When you say make America great again.
Look how emotional this dude is. Let me rewind this back. Look at this dude.
This is T.I. and Candace Owens.
Hold on. So when you look at this picture, look at Candace over here. And I'm not a pro. Candace got problems too. I am not pro Candace, but I am pro her facts. The facts she put out there are true. But I would say this about Candace.
Which period are we talking about? The period when women couldn't vote? The period when we were hanging from trees?
I'll answer.
Or like the crack era? Which period in America are you trying to make America like
So
again?
I actually think that I would totally rock a hat right now that said "Make Black America Great Again," because Black America.
Make America.
Before,
We're talking about
that's
make
not the
America.
hat.
That wasn't the
Now, I will say this. Candace was very unprepared because she should have had a canned answer. And see, this is the thing. When you get into these debates, she had to know this question was going to come up. So I have to take points away from Candace. She should have had a canned answer ready, and they hit him with it. So that's lack of preparedness on her part. Killer Mike had a great answer to the question, but they don't show it in this clip. But yes, Reconstruction, all the way from Reconstruction up to right before the civil rights, black people have made great strides. Now, if you want to use the term great is, that word great, it could be a loaded word, but we made huge progress from leaving slavery to pre-civil rights. We had high land ownership. We had high two-parent households. We were the epitome of morality. So yeah, but she was poorly prepared. She should have had an answer for this question, because she should have saw that one coming. But let's just look how emotional T.I. continues to be.
Which period was America great that we're trying to replicate? Which era was it? Tell me.
I think I'll answer your question. I'm ready to answer your question.
And see, now he's playing to the crowd. He if you ask a question, and see, often we get into debates on the Star Report, and I let people talk, because to counter them, you had to take their argument and use it against them. He didn't want her to talk because he had no answer for her answer. But the problem is, she didn't really have an answer for his question to begin with. So if I would rock a hat right now, that's a poor answer, Candace. Poor form for the debate.
What?
Which era was so great?
Here's the thing that you guys are forgetting. America was actually one of the. Slavery was all over the world. All over the world.
Bad answer, Candace.
No, I'm not saying it's okay. So why are you saying, oh?
Hey, man.
America was one of the first countries.
I want to like you so bad.
I'm trying to answer your question.
Smart. I want to like you so much.
I can't answer the
I want to
question.
hear you. I want to be able to hear them. I want to be able to hear them.
If I can't answer the question and you're just going to boo when I say slavery was all over the world, which is a fact, why are you booing a fact?
Because you're making light of.
No, I'm not.
You're making light
I
of
haven't
the
gotten to my points.
enslavement
I'm not
of
making
people that look like us. You can't make light of that. That ain't nothing
I
you
haven't
breeze
even
over.
finished the sentence. How am I making light of anything?
You started with some bullshit.
Okay.
So as you notice, they didn't let her finish her comment because they just wanted the sound clip, and that's what was floating around all on social media was these sound clips, and they was like, "Oh, T.I. slayed Candace." Both of them really, he showed poor form in debate because he didn't let her answer his question, and she wasn't prepared for the question that he asked. So I mean, it's really a draw in my book on that point of the summit.
room for her to be not getting to the point, right? A room full of black folks who are ready to slice her throat.
So why would hold on? Why would you be ready to slice? See, this is what I'm talking about right here. Why would you be ready to slice a person's throat because of they have a difference of opinion on political matters? Where was his energy at against Treyway and all this gang promotion, violent promotion music that they, Ebro and Rosenberg and this dude I don't know who in the background here, play every day on the show that degrades the black community? Y'all don't want to slice their throat. Y'all don't want to go after them. But because Candace has a difference of opinion on political matters, they ready to slice her throat. Get the hell out of here. Let's just listen to that one more time.
Not getting to the point, right? A room full of black folks who are ready to slice her throat. Killer Mike came in and tried to provide some clarity. This is a longer clip, but I think there's some great things in here that will help people, I think.
All right, so let's get back to the comment before Killer Mike started. I forgot this clip was in. That's good, because we're going to get the clip, cover that. All right, let's see, going back up. Shampoo said policy, looks like we should look at our God-given rights, but I get you, Alan. Brother Minister said effeminization of the man, yes. And that's one of the policies of the Democratic liberal agenda is the effemination of the black man. Dr. Cress Wilson addressed that in her ISIS papers, if people are not familiar with that. Yeah, Killer Mike discussed it. Crush the discussion. Yep. Yeah, she should have brought up Black Wall Street shampoo. I mean, that was an easy one. Alan Host, I feel sorry for her. A bit over the top. Okay, Shampoo said T-High had to bring her down and change his image of Mr. Guns and to Mr. Informed. Right, and that's why I'm trying to get through this pretty quickly. So we're gonna have to start breathing through this a little faster. But man, I got another clip of him. Gonna blow y'all away. HB2N said the issue with Candace is she doesn't have any white backers, but her husband doesn't have any white. She doesn't have any. HB2N, the conservative side love Candace because here's the problem with Candace. She's a very smart woman, but she's just trying to lead us off one plantation onto another plantation. What we need as black people is autonomy. And so what we can do is make decisions for ourselves. That's the problem. Alan Hall said, I think all men. Yes, it is all men, but yes, specifically. And Alan Hall, I want to say this. Typically what happens is the black population, the black community experience things first. And then they go on to spread to the larger society. So that's my point. And whenever you see any kind of recession, housing issues, anything, a bubble burst in economics, that affects the black community first, and then it goes on to the other populations. Oh, was she? Twisted Hickory Juice said Candace was at church in Durham 2 weeks ago. I didn't know that. Yes. Yes. I think it's Avil. Avil Lizo says HB2N. She works for Prager. She has plenty of white backing. Yes. Good morning, Stephen Page. How you doing? Glad you could join us. All right, so let's listen to Killer Mike for a minute, and then we're going to keep moving.
What y'all are seeing right now are free people arguing over who got the best master. Oh yeah.
Look, they didn't like that. The crowd didn't like that because he didn't tickle their ears. See, the crowd want their ears tickled. They want, they wanted what T.I. gave them. But when they got a strong dose of the truth, it's like, oh no, mama, I don't want to take that medicine. It's nasty. But he gonna give it to him anyway.
So we're going to go back to silent. Let's register this shit back down. We're going to lock this back down. So I'll tell you when America was great. 7 years after the ending of the Civil War.
Exactly what
Hold, Candace, because you didn't give the comment, so you weren't prepared for that one. But that's not to jump on Candace, because again, I'm disagreeing with my friend. 7 years after the end of the Civil War, blacks within 7 to 15 years accumulated over 15 million acres of land. Hold on, before we get to clapping, because the niggas bought some shit.
The problem I have with Killer Mike is if you're going to be on this platform and you know it's going to be widespread like that, you know what I'm saying? We should carry ourselves in a professional manner in professional environments. Even when I come on to YouTube, I try to carry myself professionally because I don't know how far widespread my message might be, and I don't want people to discredit or discount me because of something, the way I might say something. Even though I have valid information, they might be turned off by the manner which you give it. That's the only critique I have of Killer Mike, but everything else he was spot on about.
Black people were the only skilled labor in there. So if it was welding to be done, iron bending, cotton picking, it was black people. So instantly, your value became more. And Candace has a point. The point that she made about illegal immigration affecting you is that it's
gonna affect you. It's affecting us right now. Come on, Killer Mike. And see, this is where Killer Mike, I'm gonna be 100% transparent with y'all. Killer Mike feels like he has 1 foot on the Bernie boat and 1 foot on, trying to go independent. So he's trying to thread a needle here. Killer Mike, be honest. The illegal immigration has already heavily impacted the black community. Knock it off, bro. But see, he can't get too into detail of how it has impacted us negatively because Bernie has to appear to be pro-immigration because of the alliances that the left or the Democratic Party has with illegal immigration. So he's trying to thread a needle here. I'm just keeping it 100.
Why? If the Kegel Chicken Factory is hiring illegal immigrants at an undercut on the rate, it affects the black people who live there who should be demanding $20 an hour because they're being undercut. So when they get wiped out, they have to hire blacks, pay them, and unionize. So she's right on that. But hold the fuck on, I'm not finished. You have to remember that people who look like you immigrate too. So before you widely say, fuck them all, remember, America is always going
Here's
to have
another
a slave
point.
class.
If you come here illegally, I don't care how you look, if you're going to undercut the citizens that are already here, specifically the black citizens, because, that's who we compete most with on the for the jobs, that the entry-level jobs, then I don't make a distinction. But I done heard enough of Killer Mike. Let's get back to Ebro and them because they made some points I want to highlight.
So the debate
Hold
goes on.
Let's get back to the comments right quick. Shampoo said, we came here for a T.I. concert. You calling me dumb, huh? Yeah, that's what they came for. They came for a concert, not a conversation. Shampoo said, damn, he shut her down like he should. No, we shouldn't shut people down. What we should do is let them voice their opinion. And then if they have a invalid opinion or something that doesn't make sense, then we just point out and highlight how their the holes in their points they're making. But let's not shut people down. Let them talk. You talking BS, you're going to be exposed. Yeah, Shampoo, don't use the N-word. Come on. And that's, just go off on a tangent. Black folks, we got to start using the N-word in mixed company. Moreover, we should start using it, period, but that's that's an unreasonable ask because even I use it in certain contexts. But, yeah, we got to stop using that word in mixed company. We got to knock that shit off. Excuse my language. I mean, but yeah, we got to knock that off. Shampoo said you only can serve one master and you end up hating the other. Yep. Stephen Page said Ted Hayes with his Crispus Attucks Brigade. Okay, elaborate on that, Stephen Page. I want to know what you're trying to say there. Gary Stewart said, I think Candace made great points. Yeah, she has great facts, but I have an issue with how she tries to use her facts. That's the only issue I have. I agree or disagree with that comment. Paul Lovato said the funny thing is the Dems pander to the Black community, but are being disrespectful in that they aren't commenting on slave wages. Right. They're not pro-immigration either. They're pro-corporate, Paul. They're pro-corporate. That's what they are. Sounds wrong, but I love women. I think you mean women. Yeah, I get where you coming from, Shampoo, but yeah. We had to state that better. I understand where you're coming from though. Yeah, the Dems have lost the blacks. If you talk to more and more black people, more and more people are really just not into voting anymore because they understand there's nothing in it for us. Gary Stewart said, briefly, can you explain what? Oh yeah, illegals are invaders, and I understand the plight of illegals. If you can go somewhere and live a better life and you're not gonna be stopped, then they're gonna come here. What we have to do is make it difficult for them to come here and not reward them for breaking laws. This legal system has no problem with cracking down on our community, but they look the other way on other communities. So that's the problem I have. All right, so let's get back to this clip. How we doing on time? Okay.
And the reason I wanted to play this clip and basically have a conversation with the audience today is because we've said on this show many, many times, I'm not a Democrat or a
bullshit.
Republican. I'm an independent.
Excuse my language. BS.
Registered as an independent. But as we enter the 2020 election cycle, right, there is something that we always talk about on this show, and that is
wait a minute. And I got to push back on Ebro. Ebro would never vote Republican. Ebro would never tell black people not to vote. So by sheer elimination of those two options, sir, you are Democrat. And you, like many other people, when push comes to shove, like you did in 2016, even though you may have not liked Hillary, it's like, well, we got to vote for the lesser two evils. So BS. Miss me with that independent.
And there's a lot of issues on the table that we only activate when there's a president. And I think locally with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, district attorneys,
a.k.a. Soros sisters. This is a common theme. I don't know why they're pushing for these district attorneys so hard, but this is a plot of Mr. George Soros. Go back and listen to I don't forgot which number, but my podcast titled Soros Sisters, and you'll see how they're pushing the election of DAs district attorneys. In the last podcast, we discussed how this is one of the big initiatives for one Mr. Sean King as well. So whenever you hear district attorneys, hear George Soros. But I digress.
Dealing with the mayor, dealing with things in New York City for the police. I think we've all done a great job at even Queens District Attorney.
Right.
We've tried to do a good job on this program, focusing on issues that you will actually feel here in New York City, because New York City isn't always aligned with the state of New York, and the state of New York isn't aligned at all currently with the federal government.
Right.
And I think that's what Killer Mike, if you listen to the longer clip, which you can find on Revolt TV.
No, that's not what
on.
Killer Mike. And I let
really-
that play out just so you can hear. It was quite clear what Killer Mike was saying, but this dude took it and just spun it a whole nother way, because what Killer Mike is pushing for is political liberation. But he wants to keep you on that Democratic. His job, his whole purpose for being on here in the morning is to play destructive music, one, and then two, load it up with political messaging, pandering, so they can keep black people on the Democratic plantation. That's the whole role of Ebro, and he understands that. He served no other purpose. All right, going back to the comments. Gary Stewart, you said, explain how Candace is using her facts. Okay. Me and Candace have a lot of the same facts, right? But I don't try to use them to persuade you to vote one way or the other. I present you the facts, and then I tell you to use your brain to vote whichever way you or not to vote at all. What she is she's a political pundit, which that's her job. I understand why she does it. That's how she makes her bread. But her option is not to vote. She's never going to give you a third option not to vote. And that's what I'm saying. People, the way you can tell a political pundit from a person that's really trying to give you political liberation is somebody that's trying to liberate you politically will tell you that not voting is an option. That's why I say it. You have three options. When you only have two candidates, you have three options. Vote for candidate A, vote for candidate B, or choose not to spend your vote. That's political liberation. When I say candidate A is garbage, hot trash, so vote for B, or candidate B is hot trash and garbage, so vote for A, that's being a pundit. So I hope that explains my point. Stephen Page said illegal immigration is Mexico and other nations' deliberate economic warfare on all United States American citizens, especially black Americans. Well, if you look at it in the context of globalism, yeah. But I don't think it's deliberately Mexico has this national strategy. Oh, we're going to destabilize America. No, they're playing their role in the globalist system, Stephen Page. That's how I view it. HPN2N says, especially Asian community, most of the nail shops have illegal workers. Yes, not only illegal workers, but a lot of the people are indentured servants, where they had to pay a bunch of money to come here to America, and they're working off their debt in a form of indentured servitude. Shampoo says, shh, you letting the cat out of the bag. Avil Lizo, I hope I'm saying your name right. That saying you like her facts, but not how she uses them, sounded kind of like you're trying to appease her haters. No, no. What I'm saying is you should give people the third option of not voting. So I hope you understand where I'm coming from. Drew Sample said, "What's good, Mo? Screw Ebro, yeah." And going back to Avil's comment, I don't appease anybody. If my truth, however it hits, it hits. I speak what I can live with myself. I have to look at myself in the mirror. That's my number one. Let me say something else here. I don't do what I do here. I don't do this for the money, which if you want to donate, you can donate. Go to MoeFactz.com. That's a shameless plug. Because it helps do support, keeps you motivated. I'm gonna be honest, it keeps you motivated. But I'm not gonna say, oh, this is really gonna get them to hit the donate button. No. If you like what I say, click the like. If you like what I say, subscribe. You come back. But the number of subscribers I have, or the number of likes I get on the video, or the number of comments I get on my video won't persuade me one way or the other. I come here, I share my perspective, and then, you know what I'm saying, and then I go back to living life. So no, I can't be persuaded in that way. All right, okay. Shampoo said everyone on that Hot 97 panel voted for Trump. You know what? You might be right, because I know they probably voted their pocketbook and they knew that big ass Trump tax cut was coming. And I bet you, and that's the thing about, and this is another thing. These people say, oh, you know, I'm pro-Trump. Oh, I mean, I hate Trump, blah, 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 blah. If you hated Trump so much, all the money that you benefited from Trump, from that tax cut, why don't you donate it? It wasn't, if he wasn't the one, you wouldn't have had it. Why don't you go out and donate it? But oh no, I bet you they didn't. Oh, okay. Sorry, Drew Sample. He says okay. Let's see how I can fix that. I didn't know that. I'm sorry, guys. Let me see. Let me turn my mic down. Y'all let me know if my mic gets too low, but I'm gonna turn my mic down a little bit. And then I'm gonna turn up the volume in the video. I'm sorry about that, guys. Thanks, Drew. Kim Fox in Chicago, she got 450K. Yeah, she's the Soros sister, confirmed. Jaddy has ESP. Moe Factz, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, Paul says the whole argument around migration is too simplified. What about the citizen job loss? What about the poor wages being paid to these illegals? What about our destabilizing of Central America, etc.? Well, you bring up a lot of good points, Paul. That's a great point. Why is Central America a terrible place to live? And America has a huge hand into that. But you got to ask yourself, if you want to get people to migrate, you have to destabilize their homes in the expectation that they will move north. So you got to ask yourself, which came first, the chicken or the egg? And y'all let me know if my mic went too low. I turned it down a little bit. All right. Drew Sample, Kim Bot, yeah. Okay, Alan Ho said, in my honest opinion, when people say they vote for the less of two evils, they really mean is they totally overlook the wrongdoings of the side they voted for. Yes, and I totally agree with you, Alan. I can't overlook, and we have to be fair. If one side is doing something, we have to judge the same side when they do it the same way. We can't be fans here. Or you can be a fan, but don't expect to be taken seriously. All right. She said, okay, Aleve says, Avil says, but she's telling you who's doing the most for us. She's not being cynical. I'm not accusing her of being cynical. But what I'm saying is she being objective? I don't never hear her call out anything wrong with the right. I don't want to get down the Candace rabbit hole. If you support her, that's cool. And that's your choice. I support her because she brings facts to the table. Only problem I have is she tends to poo-poo some of the critiques that she gets about the right. So, okay. HB2N said, yes, getting paid nickels. Drew Sample says, Steven, I know she needs to sit down. Okay. Sounds good. MAGA hat. Yeah, we do, Paul. Yeah, we do need to ask more questions. You're right. Uh, Daybreaker said, Daybreak Driver says Candace's only issue is wisdom. Yeah, she has a lot of knowledge, and that's a good point. But wisdom is, the application of knowledge. So yeah, you have, if you want to use that definition in that context. All right, so. All right, so let's keep going here.
Really get into the specifics of local politics. I think Killer Mike's politics, like many communities and the local businesses, through making sure they were focused on the fact that you have a legit criminal who's a president. He's broken laws. That needs to be. Now,
all right, so he gonna pick up with the Trump is a criminal. This is what I'm saying. Not being objective. All presidents have done something criminal. All of them. We can go back. Obama killed American citizens by droning. I think that's pretty criminal. If you want to go back before him, George Bush, that speaks for itself. If you want to go back before him, Bill Clinton. Mena, Arkansas. The Clinton body count. So, bro, where is that same energy to call these people out? See, I'm objective. But they just want to harp on, they'll turn a blind eye, but then, for who's not on their team. Let's keep going.
The fact that you have a legit criminal who's a president. He's broken laws. That needs to be dealt with. Guns. Assault rifles shouldn't be on the streets. Now, there's a lot of politicians who think they're just going to be knocking on doors, taking AR-15s from people's homes. That probably is not a great solution.
Not a lot of politicians who feel that way. I mean, Beto feels that way.
Yeah, that's probably not going to be the best solution for that. But we can start with them stopping making them and stop making them available.
And let me just say, I can only speak for me. I love that Beto said.
Wait a minute. Y'all just hear what he just said?
He probably already knows.
This is what I'm talking about right here. Listen what they just said.
Solution for that. But we can start with them stopping making them and people's homes. That probably is not a great solution.
Not a lot of politicians who feel that way. I mean, Beto feels that way.
Yeah, president. He's broken laws. That needs to be dealt with. Guns. Assault rifles shouldn't be on the streets. Now,
this is what I'm talking about. And I'll let that play for a couple times. These guys sit up here and play song after song, my chopper, my chopper. You know what I'm saying? Let my stick talk. You know what I'm saying? Got the blicky, got the extended round, blah, blah, blah. We know all the slang that they use in rap songs talking about guns. But then they want to talk about gun control. Are you kidding me? I had to just sit and think about that. Are you kidding me? You guys sit up here, and at the end of those choppers, at the end of those every gun about those rap songs is a black body. You don't have black rappers talking about shooting people of other races and shooting people of our own race. But now you want to talk about gun control? And I'm sure after they let this segment was over, they played songs about violence, gun violence. But let's continue.
A lot of politicians who think they're just going to be knocking on doors, taking AR-15s from people's homes. That probably is not a great solution.
Not a lot of politicians who feel that way. I mean, Beto feels that way.
Yeah, that's probably not going to be the best solution for that. But we can start with them stopping making them and stop making them available.
And let me just say, I can only speak for me. I love that Beto said it. And I know it may cost him, and he probably already knows he's not going to
I love that he said it. It's just not reality.
No, it's not. But I love that he said, no, we want to take
there you have it, folks.
Sure. Because we do.
There you have it. He said, I love, and that's what the point I wanted to get to, and I'm done with this clip. He says, love the fact that he said, we want to take your guns because we do. Moment of honesty, folks. There you have it. And now, how do you want to take people guns when the Second Amendment gives us the right to bear arms, and it's not to duck hunt, it's not to deer hunt, it's not for recreational shooting, it's to protect ourselves from tyrannical governments. When they get out of hand, the citizens can have some form of protecting themselves. And people like these two idiots, yes, I said it, idiots, want to sit up here and say, yes, we want to take your guns. And especially for black people should be some of the biggest Second Amendment supporters, because if you say we're the most vulnerable, most victimized people on this, in this country, we should be the most willing to arm ourselves. Like the Black Panthers told us, like Malcolm X told us, to be have self-defense. But no, that's why they castigate those people like that. And they support people like Martin Luther King and these non-violence people, not because of violence, but it's because of self-defense. They don't want you to defend yourself. Let me go back to the comments, because I'm kind of heated right now. That even, I heard it before, but it heats me up every time I hear that. Take your guns away. Are you serious? Shampoo said they're going to knock on Gucci's door. That's a good one, Shampoo. Stephen Page. Farmers to turn their guns in. Right. Oh, let me go back up, because I read that. IBL. Okay, IBL. The same dude that called in on Star Show. All right, thank you, IBL. I appreciate that. I mean, I understand. Some total she's good because she's bringing out facts, and she's a very effective at what she does about the facts. I would just want her to give people a third option, not voting. So that's my whole thing on Candace. He said bad witches are a plague to the black community. Like I said, I don't like to call people names. Let's just make arguments against their actions. That's more effective. Because when you use terms like that, it just turns people off, and then they stop listening. All right, Mark Hayward says, these two agents. Yes, they are agents, and I'm glad we heard this. Oh, thank you, Paul. Thank you. Paul, that was a great catch. Let's go back and listen to that again. Paul says, we want to take their guns. That was a great catch, Paul.
Available.
And let me just say, I can only speak for me. I love that Beto said it. And I know it may cost him, and he probably already knows he's not going to
I love that he said it. It's just not reality.
No, it's not. But I love that he said, no, we want to take your guns.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we do.
All right.
So I'm not mad at that idea. AR-15s don't have any place in our society. But you're right. That's not going to happen. You got to start with probably getting rid of bullets and then the manufacturing of them further before you're running up at people's houses.
So he got a whole plan of how he going to take your gun.
So
We're going to shut down the bullets first, and then... So, I'm buffering. My Wi-Fi is good. Let me check my signal. Sorry about that, folks. Looks good on my end. Y'all let me know if it keeps buffering. I'm sorry about that, but it looks good on my end. All right, so that's all I wanted to hear from these clowns, just to let you know see how they push the Democratic agenda, even to the point of, openly want to take your guns. So now, Mr. T.I., we're going to speak on, he was on with Big Boy, on Big Boy TV, and this is post the Candace vote interaction. And I just want you to hear T.I. speak. He has a new podcast called Expeditiously. I guess it's the #1 podcast right now. But let's just listen to the conversation they have.
Big Boy's Neighborhood. All righty now, man. I get asked this a lot, where people say, who's your favorite guest or who do you like to come to the neighborhood? Like, who's interesting to you? And I would really have to say, all jokes aside, that the person that's sitting in here, T.I., I enjoy when you come to the neighborhood, bro.
Man, I appreciate that.
No, and you know it's the truth. I was going to insert joke here, like, oh, and it's not him, but I can't even front. I can't front, man. Like, I enjoy when you come to the neighborhood, bro. And the first thing I do want to ask you, what are you doing here? And the reason why I ask that is because you got the #1 podcast in the world pretty damn much with Expeditiously.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even come and do nobody else's show.
Nah, man. Well, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to do it right now, so when I get even bigger, I won't have to come back. I was
There it
able to
is.
say, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I didn't change so soon. You know what I'm saying?
Or at least would tell us, like, hey, man, he told us.
You did.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
the dude wasn't lying.
That's all you can
I'm going to
ask.
start doing your show. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, that'll be a damn good idea.
You know what? Nah, I listen to Expeditiously, man. You guys are too intelligent.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all tackling
So
the
he
real stuff
says
over
he
there.
don't like to come on their show because he's too intelligent. So why are you? What are you doing over here? I'm glad we're back. I'm saying I was trying to fix some things. So what are y'all doing over here? Y'all said he's too intelligent, which not to cascade your brother, but surface level intelligence. And we're gonna reason why I say that, we're gonna hear him speak on it further.
Yeah, man, that's what I set out to do, man. I wanted to take advantage of the platform that was afforded to me to have the discussions that could really do some good to push the culture forward.
It seemed like low-hanging fruit for you, though, Tip. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I heard you doing a podcast, and then when we spoke and I heard the name, and then I heard the first 2 episodes, I was like, just when we first talked about it, I was like, it didn't surprise me when they announced that you had the #1 podcast.
Shit shocked the shit out of me. You know, so I had no idea, no real desire or intention to do one. And I was approached by Podcast One, and they said, hey, man, why don't you do a podcast here? And I think my son said, yeah, maybe then you could stop going back and forth with people on Instagram.
Right.
Like, yo, bro.
I'm letting this play because I want y'all to hear in context what he says next.
A lot of and Instagram, it's like you can't be as long form.
Right.
You can't. You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of stuff gets lost in translation over text.
Very much so. Yeah. Very much so, man. Were you hesitant at first to do a podcast?
Nah, man, not when. You know, my first thing was, you know what, like, why? And I think when I sat down with Peter and the guys over there at Podcast One, they kind of told me that, hey, listen, we want to have a way to create healthy dialogue. You know what I mean? For people, the same things that you address on Instagram, we want to, give you more time to speak about that so it can actually have more impact. I said,
so
okay.
I wanted to let that play out because why is it, bro, I got a podcast. I got a microphone and a computer. Why does somebody have to come to you and say, this is what we want from you to talk about? So that lets you know they already set what the agenda is going to be and what he's going to have to bring to the table. So I want you to hear that. It ain't like his podcast is something his idea, and this is pretty much him par for the course. People come to him because they know he has a certain following, he has a certain way with the community, and they can use him, not my words, to discuss the things that they want him to discuss. That's why I let it play.
You know
but
I mean?
It's crazy because you didn't set out for it.
I didn't.
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't. Then I started just writing down you know what I'm saying, the most just undiscussed topics.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, that affect us within the community.
What have you done with Expeditiously episode wise, and what do you see coming up in the near future?
What have I done so far?
Yeah, I know you sat down with the real Rick Ross and y'all really even just sitting down. We hear a lot of so-called snitching conversations. You know what I'm saying? But even when y'all were breaking down, I was like, hold on, man, I'm a snitch. You know what I'm saying?
There you have it.
I mean,
but said slow motion again. So he brought up Freeway Ricky Ross, and I heard on him on Talib Kweli's podcast, he threw this term out there, and he said that people like him are refugees of the mass incarceration system. That's what he said. So he's trying to rewrite his history, as we heard, and that's why I said things are going to connect from the beginning to the end. Now that he has money, he's doing the same thing the Roosevelts did of trying to rewrite his history. So that's why I'm telling you, there's no difference between these people. He started out being a criminal, just like Roosevelt. See, I'm being objective. And now he's going to rewrite his history because now he has this thing, well, I didn't know we were selling drugs for Reagan and the CIA. Bro. Dirty South. Cool Breeze told y'all. Hold on. If you're not familiar, for the people that don't know what I'm talking about, it was a group called Goody Mob. They had a song called Dirty South. And in that song, he said, Dirty Bill Clinton fronted me some weight. Let me bring up the lyrics. Dirty South lyrics. And T.I. knows these people. He knows this song. And for people that's from the South and know hip hop from that time, this is a very popular song. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to look these lyrics up right quick so y'all can understand what I'm saying. Cool Breeze. Right here. Let me zoom in. He said, now, Dirty Bill Clinton fronted me some weight, told me keep 2, bring him back 8. And I only brought him 5 and stuck his ass for 3. Do you think that Clampett sick his goons on me? So back in, when this song came out in, I want to say 95, 96, somewhere around in there. So, bro, people knew who was selling us the drugs, but now T.I. wants to act like, oh, I didn't know we were selling drugs for the CIA. I didn't know we were selling drugs for this, you know what I'm saying, for the government. Bro, knock it off.
But see, that's the thing, though, because, we got kids coming up, and they don't have a lot of direction, you know what I'm saying, a lot of instructions, a lot of just insight in the situations that they will find themselves in. I always think about it as if I could talk to a person who is at the point where I was before I got my record deal and tell them, okay, now, on this journey, you're going to run into this, you're going to run into this, and these are the things you need to keep in mind. If I can be that for someone, you dig what I'm saying, and allow them to kind of avoid certain pitfalls or just plummet down certain areas of darkness that I did, I think that's, you know what I'm saying, that's, that's a good reason to do a podcast.
Yeah, man. And the one thing
and if
with
I just
you,
happen to make
there you go.
That's
hey, man.
Ding. Y'all heard that, right? If I could tell the kids not to do what I told them to do for the last 12 years and make millions of dollars while doing it, I'm going to do it. Man, this dude is a straight up Al Sharpton, bro. Al Sharpton 2.0. Get me heated. Man, these people going to get my blood pressure up. Hold on. Let me go back to you. Am I still buffering? I see people saying slow-mo. I'm sorry for that. Shampoo said, how can you be a vehicle if it's our agenda? Right. In exchange for money. He could have been started his own podcast, but see, he said, if I can do this while making millions of dollars, why not? Why wouldn't I do it? Man, get the hell out of here. Shampoo said, I'm starting a tip foundation to get the guns off the streets. Right. And then this dude, the same one that come out with the trap music museum. Bro, you making money off of celebrating the things that tore our community apart. Crack was a bomb that exploded in our community. And see, I ain't somebody that read this in a book. I saw this with my own eyes. I saw what it did. I was born in 1980. When crack hit around 88, 87, hit a little later down south than it did up north. Bro, I saw what it did. From like 88 to like 96, it gutted the black community hard. And you celebrate this. You knew who was selling the drugs. Cool Breeze told you who was selling us the drugs. And you continue to do it. Now you want to rewrite history and act like you was a victim? Knock it off, bro. Knock it off. And then you going to turn around and double dip on the back end, making millions of dollars off of playing, you know what I'm saying, playing the good guy. And people saying, oh, well, at least he doing something positive. Bro, he had to atone for all the crack babies, all the strung out women, all the strung out people lives that he sold dope to when he knew it was wrong. When he knew it was wrong. Don't act like you didn't know it was wrong. Come on now. See, I hold him accountable just like I hold the Lanos and the Bushes. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, I say we should be organized when we do crime. You didn't see their community strung out on the same drugs, but now you do. Because they don't give a rat's ass now. They don't care. They sold them pills to their own people. Now you seeing that it don't even matter about community no more. You know, so disgusting. Bro, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to wrap this up because they keep saying I'm frozen. I don't know what to do here to fix that. I don't have nothing running in the background. Can y'all hear me? Y'all press 1 if y'all can hear me. But I just wanted y'all to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, if he could make millions of dollars while selling y'all. Right. And I'm glad you said that, Shampoo. You said he's a culture vulture, sheep and wolf in sheep's clothing. No, he's worse than that. He's a fox. And you know why I say he's a fox? Peep this. And I'm about to wrap this up because you know what I'm saying? I'm tired of the buffering. But I got a couple more things I want to show y'all, and then we're going to wrap this up. I'm sorry, I'm saying to rush off. Malcolm X warned us of people like him. And we're gonna listen to this right quick, and I'm going to show y'all the imagery and how things work. Watch this.
But being friendly and being a friend, I think, are two different things. I think there are many whites who act friendly toward Negroes. A fox acts friendly toward the lamb. And usually the fox is the one who ends up with the lamb chop on his plate. The wolf doesn't act friendly, and therefore the wolf has more difficulty in getting the lamb.
So I wanted to play that for y'all. Now peep this. Reason why I call T.I. a fox. Because see, he play like he your friend, but he not your friend. He got a political agenda. But watch this. Peep this, y'all. He a fox, bro. He a fox. What's the symbolism for his clothing company? A fox. Yeah. Like I said, everything makes sense, bro. Everything makes sense. He a fox. He know it. Sly animal. They sneak in. They take what they want. They don't come get it from you. I just wanted to let y'all see that. Hold on. This is a clothing company. The Fox. It's what T.I. is now from now on. He snuck into our community. And when I mean our community, he was, you know what I'm saying, his action was deleterious to us, and then he gonna sneak across, you know what I'm saying, to the other side. And Malcolm X warned us about people like that. Okay, y'all still with me? Well, y'all just want y'all, you know what I'm saying, I wanted y'all to hear that. Man, don't trust these people. Don't stop trusting these people. They have no means. If somebody don't give you a third option to think for yourself, if somebody don't inspire you to think for yourself, you know what I'm saying? Be questioning, you know what I'm saying, question these kind of people. You know, I'm going to use these last 10 minutes. If y'all got any questions about what we talked about now, y'all can ask them now. You know. Yeah, I know. We about to wrap it up, bro. I know I don't want to bleed over into, you know what I'm saying, I know there's some No Agenda crowd here, so we're going to wrap up here. And for y'all not No Agenda listeners, y'all go check them out. No Agenda podcast with Adam Curry. That's the co-host of me and his joint venture that we doing on this channel here. You know, their podcast comes on Sundays and Thursdays at noon Eastern Standard Time. So I'm about to wrap it up here. All right, Stephen Pay, I know you got to roll. If y'all got any questions, y'all let me know. But I just want to go to show y'all this is what we dealing with. You know, we know what it's gonna look like when it's coming from the right. We got our ears and eyes tuned to look for that. But it's when people that look like us and people that talk like us, you know what I'm saying, use certain vernacular and slang and cool and, you know, got the swag. That's who they're using right now. So, any other questions before I wrap it up? Wow, I didn't know that. Fox equals 60. Now you getting deep on me, Jaddy. You getting deep on me. Yep. Let's see. Couple more minutes, you know what I'm saying? Make sure no questions come through. And then we're going to wrap this thing up. Like I said, don't forget, go check me out at moefactz.com. That's MoeFactz. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Also, very important, follow me on social media. It's moefactz.com, both on Twitter and Instagram. It's important that you do that because if anything happens here on YouTube where they actually shut me down for any reason, I can get the new channel up and running by just communicating what the new channel is through social media. Please follow me there. Also, if you feel like you want to donate, it's over at moefactz.com/donate. I got a PayPal, and I also have a Cash App. If you donate to me, please hit me up in my DMs because I want to personally thank you for each and every donation. I send out a thank you through, you know what I'm saying? Cash App won't let you reply with anything but emoji, which is stupid.